We begin this hour in Germany, where hundreds of supporters of the far-right group Pegida have held an anti-refugee protest in the city of Cologne. A rival and bigger rally in support of asylum seekers was also held in the city. At the same time, German Chancellor Angela Merkel backs calls to make it easier to deport refugees who've committed crimes. That's after nearly 100 women reported being sexually assaulted during New Year's celebrations in Cologne. Well, our correspondent Nicole Johnston is in the city, and she joins us live now. Nicole, two separate camps took place in protests. Were they largely peaceful?
For most of the day, they were very peaceful rallies. The police had the situation under control. Both sides were barricaded off with a few hundred metres separating them from each other. A few hundred riot police in between both sides to keep things under control. They did, though, hurl a lot of verbal abuse at each other. But later in the day, just before dark, some of the Pegida supporters moved to a different area, and there was some trouble with the police. The police moved in to try and disperse them because it was getting close to dark. They used water cannons and eventually drove them away. But more about this day of protest in the city of Cologne in this report. Hundreds of people on the steps of Cologne's imposing cathedral, demanding women be protected from sexual violence. Some travelled from other cities to demonstrate against attacks on women on New Year's Eve.
As a woman in Cologne, I want to go wherever I want to go, and I want to be whoever I am, and I don't want to be harassed because of that.
I think we have to defend our rights, and we have to show that in this culture, in this Europe, in this Germany, women and men have the same rights.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel has been forced to act. Her party has agreed to a proposal to strengthen the powers of police, to check identity papers and to exclude some foreign offenders from being granted asylum.
The
right to a resident status in an asylum procedure can be lost if someone is convicted on probation or jailed.
You can hear how passionate the protests are. These people want the refugees to stay. A few hundred metres away, Pegida says they should go home. And the position on both sides has only hardened since the attacks in Cologne on New Year's Eve. Pegida is a group opposed to Islam and to immigration. About 200 of its supporters turned out. Some had run-ins with the police.
We are here to blame our government. Our government is responsible for this disaster, what happened here in New Year's Eve.
The size of the rally supporting refugees was much larger than the one against them. So while many in Cologne have been shaken by these attacks, they haven't all lost their resolve to welcome in refugees. A police report has come out later in the day that has increased the number of women who were attacked on New Year's Eve, who reported to have been attacked, from 170 to over 370. Now, the report said that most of the suspects who are being investigated are of North African origin.
All right, our Nicole Johnston following those protests in Cologne. Thank you.